What is up, guys? You're tuning into this Okiru podcast. I'm your co-host, Jasper, and we thank you so much for spending this time with us. We hope you enjoy this episode. Make sure to follow us on our socials at okiru.apparel on Instagram, Okiru on Facebook, Okiru on YouTube, and also Okiru on major platforms such as Spotify and Apple Music. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. We hope you enjoy.
Okiru.
Here we go. What is up, boys? Welcome to the Okiru podcast. Today we're doing a collab with the family from Lace Kicks, and we are joined by some of the newest members. If you guys like to introduce yourselves. Who's going first?
I'll jump today. How are you guys? I'm Josh from Sneaker Genius.
Nice.
I won't shoot too much of you off. We are doing customs and stuff for Australia. A lot of repairs, customs, bespoke, importing US stuff to sell to other customizers as well, and trying to push that kind of scene forward for Australia.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Let's go.
JP, you're the first. You go, man.
Okay, cool. I'm JP. I am one half of the Lace Brothers. The other half is obviously Stephen, who will introduce himself in a second. But yeah, I'm just a sneaker enthusiast. Love everything sneaker related and that sort of in the culture.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I'm SC Kicks. Second half of the Lace Brothers. And the same. Just love sneakers. I don't care where they're from, as long as they're real. Just put your sneakers on your feet and wear them. You know, that's what I'm all about. And just getting to know more people in the culture and just sharing our passion.
Yeah, that's it. Last but not least.
Last but not least, my name is Paolo. I run by Paolo76. I founded Soul Insiders back in 2012, and it's amazing to see how far the sneaker community has come since those early days. And I was telling my guys from the start, I wasn't the only one crazy enough to do this and is passionate about it. So this podcast shows, if anything, the reality of it all. And thanks for Okiru and everyone for inviting me and having me today.
Of course, guys. It's a blessing to have all of you on, and most especially the guy who's, setting this all up, Mr. Dr. Lace Kicks. Please introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? I'll go by the name of Dr. Lace Kicks, and yes, I am the founder of Lace Kicks family, and I call that a family because we are all in one big family tree. No matter if you have your own brand, we all repping each other.
Mm-hmm. Man, it's a blessing to be a part of this community as well, and this is our first podcast with so many people on, so this will be very interesting. So how do we want to do this, guys?
I think we should start with Josh. We should start with Josh, and then go with Steven, and then kick to JP, and then you go to Soul Insider, go me, and then you go again.
So what are we doing? Are we just sharing our?
You're more welcome to ask about anything.
So just questions for the group.
All
right, easy. Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, man. No, congratulations. Nice one. First podcast and everything. That's really awesome. How does everyone see the sneaker scene in Australia in the next 5 years?
Does anyone want to chime in on that?
I'm pretty know you have something on this.
Sneaker scene. For me, I probably don't see as much as the sneaker scene. I'm based, north of Brisbane in Queensland, and we don't have much of that sneaker scene of the actual getting together kind of thing or seeing other people with sneakers on. Most of my sneaker scene is done on social media. And it depends which aspect you're talking about. Are we talking about the community? Are we talking about how we're going to obtain sneakers? Are we talking about what sneakers are going to be popular? I think it's such a dynamic thing, isn't it? If you look back 5 years ago, is it too much different to it is today? Or, now most things are run socially or, via the internet. Everyone's copying sneakers via the internet. You're meeting people via the internet now. I think COVID put a big dampener on the personal connection. This is why this is now it's great, isn't it? We actually get to talk to people and especially about our passion. Hopefully, in the next 5 years, we can start getting together as humans again and having interactions and meeting other sneakerheads on personal levels. As far as copying sneakers, I got no idea how bad it's going to get. Kids are getting smarter. I can barely log onto this Zoom meeting, let alone try and bought a pair of sneakers. I think it's anyone's guess where that's going to go. I think if more people can start building their personal likes and interests in sneakers as opposed to following like sheep, there'll be enough love to go around no matter what happens. But I don't know how long's a bit of string. You could answer that question for the next 5 years.
That's true.
Yeah, that's my insight.
Yeah, nice.
I'll go next. For me, I really hope that the manufacturers really saturate the market and give enough pairs for everybody. For my point of view at the moment, I feel that Australia is really unloved at the moment by companies like Nike and obviously Yeezy and other ones. And it's just really, like, I guess, disappointing. Everybody blames everybody buying pairs and bots and all that sort of stuff, but I feel that it's just supply chain and there really needs to be more pairs for everybody. Yeah, I know it's not, there will be always hyped collaborations which are going to be hard to get, but you shouldn't have trouble walking into like a Nike store and picking up a pair of, like, say, J4s or whatever, and having to worry like that you're not going to get a pair that you will love.
Yeah.
So that's my point of view. I really hope that happens, and you can see it with some models already. Jordan 1 highs are already like saturating the market and they're sitting. So hopefully other models happen the same way. I think Dunks will go that way. And people will forget about them, and then there'll be another sort of crazed pair.
Yeah.
I'll chime in really quickly. Far from being a godfather or anything, I've been around for a while, seen lots of trends and things so forth from back in the days when we used to camp, back in the days when the internet wasn't even a thing, and if you wanted something, you had to either have connections, family overseas or whatever for sneakers, to the crazy ways of how we cop today. I think if anything today, we're very, very spoiled. If anything, it's still hard. 100%, I agree with Kicks and Craze. Australia definitely is not loved. If you think about it this way, I've always been positioning to say, look, put Australia and the sneaker community here on the map, because we don't get the attention that we deserve as a community. But just think this is the main reason, guys, to be honest. Fashion-wise, we are ahead and behind. So in that sense, we are ahead of everybody season-wise, but we're behind in releases. So in the US and Milan or wherever in Europe, all the Northern Hemisphere and everything is like their winter. So all of their styles, summer, winter and that. We're way ahead. Us in New Zealand, we're like for the future. So we're in the future, right? So if anything, we could legit, in my eyes, in the next 5 years, sneakers wise, right? Not that we have the factories or the ability to create the supply, but we could be like legit trendsetters, man. Like people in Europe and US would be like, oh, these are the kind of stuff that we like in Jordan 1s and stuff. I go, dude, I saw that last month, an idea from Sneaker Genius. Oh, I saw that on a podcast from Okiru, and these guys are talking about it already. And all of a sudden these ideas, and we're collaborating. So imagine the community actually getting smaller in a sense of, because the internet's made everything smaller. So if we have connections like, dude, let's just say there's a massive customizing collaboration. Just for example, like what happened with Sean Witherspoon. Let's say Nike came down to Australia and, Sneaker Genius wins. He has a sneaker made by Nike and Australia comes first. Oh, wow. Yeah. So I'm just thinking in that sense, it can happen. Australia can 100% get into, the sneaker map, if you will, of the world. But at the moment, 100%. I agree with some craze. We are like in the back of their minds in regards to, it's kind of like, for example, I was talking to Josh the other day about the release of this watch, the Moon Watch. It's like, there's, one store. No, but I was just saying, in a sense of Australia and releases, one store per city, So if there was a release for sneakers, it'd be like one, it'd be like House of Hoops one in Sydney, one in Melbourne. And that's all we get, 20 pairs. Like, come on, we're a whole country, not just like a city, and 20 pairs per city. And, what are you going to do? Fly to Perth to line up? I don't know, like back in the day. But now it's all raffles. So I'll give my last point. I think in 5 years, 100%, there is 100% ways we can improve and be put on the sneaker map. And the only way we can do that is through voicing opinions on platforms such as this. Speaking with you guys and growing the community, and then we'll have connections in the UK, in Europe, and US.
It's gotta start with us.
Yeah, and eventually, someone in those big marketing departments or companies will take notice and like, hey, these guys, they're legit sneaker collectors. I'm just looking, I'm looking at backgrounds of you guys, and I'm like, damn. I'm looking at the heat behind this, behind these guys.
I don't have heat. I'm on the lounge room.
I said my background it's like a Foot Locker. You walk past it looks good, just don't come inside.
So yeah, not from me. I'll let someone else have a go.
Well, I think for me, pretty much you've said everything, Paolo, that it's gonna start with us. Then I think, if someone did hear what we're talking about, it'll make sense. But in 5 years, I think, yes, the game will change and for the better, because there's pretty much every day there's a release, right? Every week. So what do you guys think in like 2 years? I think there's going to be 3 pairs that's going to release every week since, you know what I mean? And that's crazy, because when you look back in the years, we have to wait 1 month each one pair. And then it goes to 2 pairs, and then it goes to each week. Imagine in 2 years or even next year, it could be 3 pairs every each week, or it could be 4 pairs. You know what I mean? They could push it out like that just to gain a lot of profits from, releasing other kicks. And eventually they're all going to see.
If you don't have sneakers on shelves, how are they bringing that next market of sneakerhead up? Like, I know the internet's there, but there's nothing like walking in and picking up a sneaker and experiencing it.
Yeah.
Well, there's still some dodgy backdoors. It's just lucky that we don't have them here, But we are fighting for the bots, and that's the number one issue we have here. If we don't have them, I think it's gonna be good for us. But again, they can't really beat the bots on the raffle. They can't really do much, because every time it does upgrade every time, and you can't beat the computers.
And Nike pulling back from like mum and pop stores anyway, even Foot Locker. So they're looking to just supply by themselves to everyone online, man, and just cut out the brick and mortar and their cut. So it's more of a percentage of them. Not many people, they don't make too much markup on a pair of shoes, to be honest. Maybe like 20, 30 bucks a pair at the end of the day after all the marketing, after all the expenses. So it makes sense for them to try and pocket that. But it's only going to hurt us all, because I'm sure we all miss lining up and that thrill of even camping out, man. I had to camp out a few nights. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
George Street. You never know where. Yeah, in 5 years myself, I'm interested to see where it is as well. Like, technology-wise, I'm interested, depending on the meta, how that goes, and how they incorporate tech and NFTs into actual sneakers that are on your feet. And like Pella touched on about trying to get collabs here as well. So there's a few companies that have done it. There's a couple of companies that have gotten it off with New Balance and a few other guys. I don't know if you guys know, you can actually go to the Nike website yourself and upload a design for a collaboration. But when you're reading the fine print, it says, like, if the collab doesn't go through, Nike still holds the rights to be able to use this design or parts from it.
Wow.
So I think the key to getting those collabs is we just got to be persistent with it. So like for myself, if I was to do it, I'm not just going to shoot up one design and cross my fingers. I'm going to send them a design every 2 days until they either block me or say yes.
I make a headline.
A lot of potential here for it, man. A lot of potential for it here. And we have some great designers like Chase Shield down in Melbourne and whatnot, man. He is legitimate. You would think most of his work's coming from Nike or Tinker.
Wow. Incredible. Look, I know barely nothing about the sneaker industry. I just love the culture. Like, it was so expensive for me to get into it. So I just love looking at it and just knowing information about it. But, just to listen to you guys and to hear all your experiences, it's like you really miss the experience of just being physically
Outside
there.
and-
Yeah, exactly, right? That's what you guys miss. And
Well,
like,
we can all have that. We can all have that by just not trying to cop shoes. I mean, what we're doing now is it's just the same thing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So this is what I'm trying to get with everyone. Just get together, speak out, share things with each other, share ideas. I mean, it's not as bad as you think.
Yeah.
It's quite good when you actually do this quite a lot. You know what I mean? Like you get of ideas of each other without hurting each other's feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. Well, what has tainted that sneaker culture, if there has, like, I don't know, like, well, what I guess for any new people coming into this industry or this culture, like what tips and advice would you guys like bestow upon them? What would you share?
For the first person, like
Buy
if
what you
you're
like.
fresh
Buy what you like.
Buy what you like.
That's my
and don't listen
That's-
to no one.
Don't be a sneaker sheep.
Buy what's comfortable.
Mm. Yeah,
I'll say, wear your shoes. Wear your
Yeah,
shoes.
definitely.
You're going to be the
Definitely.
more longevity. So you might open it 10 years from now and it's not crumbled in the box. You'll get another 10 years after it.
yeah,
Still, just by even wearing it.
yeah.
And don't feel like you need to actually catch up on other people's,
Mm.
do your own lane, be on your own lane and do your own thing. That's it. You
So
don't
in
need
this-
to catch up.
Yeah. So in a sense, it's like just being the individual self, like be you.
Be
And like,
you, yeah.
how about I'll frame it in this sense. Sneakerheads, we kind of we see each other and it's and we sort of notice what's on feet first. So in that sense, it's kind of like your style and personality show in your style of sneaker, right? So if you, let's just say, for example, you rock out in some SB Dunk Paras, right? So they're really bright, lots of colors, gum bottom, they're a skater sneaker. So that already kind of comes across in what your style is like. Or if you've got an all black pair of, Pirate Black Yeezys. Okay, so he's more quiet, but he likes Kanye West, that kind of thing. It kind of just, it not defines you, but it starts the conversation, and sneakerheads kind of get like a gauge and like, oh, cool. Like, that's what they're into. And you know what I mean? So someone's coming along in Skechers versus someone in comes along and Dunlop volleys. It's like, all right, well, that's your style.
Yeah, I got a pair of volleys in the collection.
Hey, I wear Havanas sometimes.
Is it green and gold? It better be green and gold, bro.
It is. I've got a pair of the opening ceremony volleys from the last Olympics.
There you go.
wow.
Oh,
So-
and just to bring up to Okiru, I don't know if you saw the latest collaboration. It's Nike Prestos, Hello Kitty. Just saying,
Yeah.
Really?
if you
Wow.
see a dude,
Hello Kitty.
Hello
I'm
Hello
gonna
Kitty.
get it. I'm gonna get it.
Hey.
No way. I haven't seen
Yeah,
that. I haven't
legit.
seen
See?
that.
So everyone's
Wow.
pop culture, different things.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Hello Kitty, eh?
Yeah. See,
Well, there
They'll
was
still-
one you. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say they'll still sell out.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Oh, for
100%.
Well,
It's
years
still
ago-
part of a collection. If you think about it.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it was about a decade ago. Nike did release the Hello Kitty collaboration, and it was super limited, like very, very limited. I think it was like a couple hundred pairs, and that's like a
Wow.
presto, like a grail shoe for a lot of people.
Mm.
But now they're like re-releasing a new version, which apparently I've seen pictures. It looks all right. I'd wear it.
It doesn't look too bad, hey.
Yeah, it looks all right.
Blue,
Yeah.
That blue's
hints
nice.
of white. It's not like it's all loud pink or yellow. It's like a nice blue with a white space, and then it's just dots of a white little Hello Kitty. I'm like, oh.
You've spent a long time looking at this shoe, man.
But you think it's
It's on my
only
feed, man. It's just on my feed. I'm like, what's going on?
you think it's only for girls, right? It's only for women.
No, man, Hello Kitty.
Wow.
Sexy.
I hope
I'll
not.
take
No, hopefully Prestos don't. Hopefully they just do, their sizing small, medium, large, extra large.
Yeah,
I'll take an extra large, please.
Presto hate me.
I like the back tab. It's the actual Hello Kitty face. On
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, no way.
Oh, no,
That's
there you go.
incredible.
Do you guys have
funny,
a
man.
sample? You guys have a sample of
No.
this picture?
Oh, it's
It's all
online
over
somewhere,
Instagram.
man.
You just got
Somewhere.
to start liking more women's shoes, and it comes up in your feed.
I can share screen. I'll find it on Google and I'll share screen it.
Yeah,
Hello
yeah.
Kitty Prestos.
Yeah, that's what happens when you stalk female sneakerheads. It just comes up.
Yeah.
I've got a question, right? Like, since we brought up Sean Weatherspoon, right? What do you think about him moving to Adidas than just sticking to Nike? If he were to stick to Nike, what do you guys thought?
Me, it's business, to be honest. Sorry to just jump in there. To me, it's a business, right? Like, look at Jeff Staple. Jeff Staple didn't just stick with Nike. Jeff Staple's got Puma and I can't remember the other brands. But yeah, it's you know what I mean. Why would you hold yourself to one brand unless you're like, you know, Jordan brand? Then you've got ties to Nike. But
Yeah.
even then, MJ's like moving away. He wants his own. To be honest, for a while, there's just Jumpmans everywhere. There's no Nike Air Swoosh. And I'm glad that they brought the OG stuff back, because to me, like when you're growing up, that's what it was, you know, rather than seeing a Jumpman on the back, which is fine. But at the same time, it just hits a different, I guess, it's a different vibe to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask, what are the terms that he left on? Like, did he like leave, walk away, or did he like get sacked?
I think he just walked away.
Yeah.
Because he was still on the contract, I think. And he just decided to sign with Adidas, pretty much.
Well, he had a gel light after the Nike, and then he went to Adidas.
Yeah.
So
That gel light's nice too.
I think he had one more pair of shoes or something to go.
With Nike or with Asics?
Yeah, with Nike, but he just left.
Oh. Okay.
It's odd, isn't it? Like, Nike's obviously going to pay well, but he feels like he wanted to get his personal brand out at the same time. And if you're a designer, like, I know if that was me in his shoes, I'd want to have my name on all different sneakers, because only the guys that want Nike are going to put on they're nice shoes. They're 97 ones, a beautiful sneaker. He designed them so well. But why can't he put that into an Adidas and have the Adidas guys have it? Put that into a New Balance and have the New Balance guys look like, you know, like he wants to spread that love. We might see him on another pair, you know. You've got Nike, Asics, Adidas now. The Adidas just sit. I keep looking at them on end and go, hey, I might just get a pair because of that design in them. Like, it's just nice and it's different. And if that was a Nike, would it be just sold out? And is the accessibility to it not there? You know, but you never know, personal reasons do.
do you think if it was a collaboration with like Yeezy, with Kanye, if it would actually sell out or if it'd be sitting on shelves? That's another question.
I would sell out.
You sell out.
I would sell out. You said two names and I'm already in it. I will sell out.
Yeah. No one's even seen the shoe and they're lining
I know,
up.
exactly. There could be like shit brown, green with corn on it. And stuff.
Yeah.
You just said Kanye, you said Sean Witherspoon together.
Look at the Travis Scott stuff on Sneakers app. Is it that nice? The clothing line, is it that nice? Yet it's gone. Just because it's got Cactus Jacks on, you know.
It's
So
just the hype.
who knows?
It's the hype. Yeah.
Well, in my personal opinion, there's 100% the whole FOMO thing, right? So, you know, fear missing out. But also with the whole COVID thing, like, you know, you can't physically go to a store and buy it these days. And and unfortunately, not us, but like younger generations, even younger, like kids of people my age, just like, how do I get my hands on these? And they just, everything's online. And and if you don't get it, what do you do? So it's like StockX, resellers, and those are your only options, unfortunately. So it's so other marketplaces, like is it Oxstreet and Novel Ship have popped up, things like that, trying to, I guess, open up the market and even out with places like StockX and eBay, because at the moment StockX and eBay have a pretty big chunk of the what's the word for it, the monopoly. Amazon, but Amazon's not known for, if you wanted to cop, some Travis Scott's or Yeezys or something, people just think, there's others that I mentioned before. And I think for the better part, it is working. Having more options for guys like us and people in the know are definitely to our advantage. Whereas back in the day, man, it was eBay, and then even then you had to adapt and learn because the market just got flooded with fakes and reps and things like that. And like, a lot of people are like, oh, $99 for Travis Scott's. Yeah, hold on. Hey, take it easy.
And it still floats around. There's still fakes everywhere, even on Facebook. Facebook market is flooded by fakes.
Because it's full of it, isn't it? If they're available from size 7 to 12 and a half for $250, don't go near them.
That's why we're lucky we got stocks too, Just saying that.
How can people avoid, potentially getting faked out on something? Like, is there any places where people can go to get things legit checked that's trustworthy?
You can call Paolo.
Hey, Paolo, I'm coming to hit you up, man.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to jump in again, but 100% there are Facebook groups out there, guys. Don't be afraid. Most of the Facebook groups, they don't buy, especially silent siders, not unless you ask. It's extra. If you need help with anything whatsoever, man, hit me up or. Yeah, if I can help, but 100%, bro. I don't claim to know everything. Yeah. I'm not some guru. I can help you with what I can help you with, basically. Yeah. If I have it and I've got it, I can legit check. But even then, I don't work for Nike. I'm not Kanye West. So.
Like when you're talking about Facebook groups, the other bit is the community's interaction with one another. If they know each other, they know the legit seller, they know somebody, they're saying they bought it from Nike, or they say they got it from sneakers, that that person, they build that trust and that reputation. And I think reputation goes further. Like you watch a lot of new guys buying sneakers off Facebook, and it's, can I get a legit check on this guy? And you're looking at it and you go, mate, this guy's been selling sneakers on here for 10 years, but because it's their first comp, they don't know that.
Yeah.
But the community will always jump behind a good person and go, that person's 100%, safe to bank with, because that's the risks you take. You're putting big chunks of money in someone else's bank account for a piece of leather and some shoestrings.
Yeah.
It's a lot of risk over reward, but the community's the best thing we've got.
But also, you've got your basic, things you do to protect yourself. So it could be, I'm just going to give you a heads up. Like most of my deals happen at McDonald's.
McDonald's.
There's cameras.
Have a meal. Get some.
I want to give a shout out to McDonald's. We could get a promotion from McDonald's here.
Golden arches.
We could all sit with cheeky thick shakes next time. Well,
it's funny, but there's cameras everywhere. There's families there. No one's gonna pull a gun on you. We're in Australia, and we're not in the US where people can pull a gun or whatever. So to me, Macca's and it's an excuse, to get nuggets or whatever. You'd be surprised. I'm not gonna.
Comes home with a box of shoe.
Shit, lies, all of that.
It's a new sneaker meetup every Sunday night, because that's the release of the Happy Meal toy on the.
So when you look up most of the pairs, like that's McDonald's night. That's McDonald's.
Pretty much, yeah.
There's a couple of legit check apps out there. They're anywhere from like $3 to $5. You shoot through a few pics, take the insole out, send through some details. They'll verify yes or no if they're real. They're about a 95-98% success rate of getting it right. But it'd be cool to see something like that even over here. Even like the Facebook groups just charging like a cheeky $5 just to. Because at the end of the day, they're paying for your expertise and the years it's taken you to acquire that information to be able to pass that on to them. So why not?
The skill of fighting out, but at the same time, to be honest, right? You can do all the logistics you can. Then you really, really can tell the minute you put on your feet. It's like, where's the technology? Why are these moon boots? These bricks?
What is this midsole made of?
Exactly. It's like, damn it. Why is it crumbling already?
I got a question for Joshua, right?
Yeah.
What started you with your brand, and how did you get up there where you are now?
Always was a sneakerhead over the years, man, and always did like a semi-bespoke. So even as like a kid, I'd be cutting into something, finding out how it worked. Like once my Reebok pump finally died, I pulled it apart and just tried figuring it out, then tried putting it back together, and I actually got it working again. So like when I was 20,
Amazing.
so just yeah. And then when I was 20, I studied fine arts and design to get into sneaker design.
Nice.
Then got sidetracked with bills, family, immediate work, needing to pay rent, income, all that kind of stuff. So that got chucked aside. And then probably 5 years ago, just started playing around again. Started making $1 out of it maybe 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, just mucking around with customs, a few repairs here and there. And then did a few courses as well. So I did a few shoe courses, did the shoe surgeon course a couple of times, did a few other things.
Nice.
Just got stuck into trial and error as well, man. Like I destroyed probably 25 pairs of my own shoes before I touched anybody else's. So like you could study all you like and whatnot, but it's a very practical type of thing. Like even just your first resoles, you might mess up the first 5 or 8 or so. So if you get into it, just be prepared, man.
That's with everything, though. That's with everything. You know, you always have to mess up just to learn from it. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah, don't beat yourself up. See where you went wrong. Take your notes, and then just try and improve from there.
Yeah.
But so did construction for years. Managed to scale it up, and then finally, like, was able to scale it up to a shop. Talking with the guys in the community, and knowing a few guys in the community needing products and stuff from the US. So instead of everyone getting slugged with shipping from the US, I imported products to be able to supply these guys cheaply and whatnot. Everyone's these guys are also on, some of these guys, the customizers here, I have a handful on like an affiliate program. So any sales that come through their fans and Insta, their customer gets a percentage off, and then they get a little kickback as well to help support.
Wow.
So yeah, man.
Sneaker genius. So there you go, guys. If anyone listening there, make sure you hit them up. You can do anything,
yeah. I might have a pair that needs to come for a holiday.
The repairs is so self-satisfying, man. It really is. Like, let me just show you. Are you right if I show your pair?
Yes,
Carl?
please.
Yeah, go.
I'm missing out. You're not on my screen.
So, like, this is the before. This is the before. There's no after yet.
There's copyright here. Copyright. There's trademarks here, bro. We do.
They are a thing of beauty.
Wow.
Anyone want some crackers with the Swiss cheese?
So this kind of thing, when I get this in, everyone might bloody shit their pants, but I love it. I love it. So seeing it come in like this, and then when he comes up to pick him up, the look on his face, be as good as payday.
Oh my gosh.
Self-satisfaction is just unbelievable because no one here is really doing it, man. So at least, who wants to send that to Mr. Minute? Are you going to send your Jordans to Mr. Minute?
There you go. He's pulling one.
We're getting a sneaker showcase.
But yeah, man, I'm happy for it. I'm hungry for it. I'm loving it, man.
Yeah.
Every day is a blessing, to be honest.
What was the hardest sneaker you had to repair? Did you have any difficult ones?
Not really the hardest, but the trickiest are like your 11. So like if you're resoling a Jordan 11, just because the patent leather, like it's really hard to, not really hard, you just got to get like the right glue and right additives for it to really bond properly to the patent. And it's not one of those things that you just want to like tear away with a Dremel to sand off for it to be able to stick, because then any moisture will like get under there and start damaging the paint over time. So nothing's really hard, man. It's like just take your time, be patient. If you mess anything up, you can always like strip it with acetone and do it again.
Wow, that's awesome. I studied design with the intention of going into like sneaker design, But I was like, man, like this is tough. Like, so it'd be cool to to hit you up and see more of your work, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah,
Anytime.
you
So I
can
just had-
you
just
can
had
do
the
like a little
neighbor-
mini videos.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
the
Maybe we
neighbor
could
just
do a
walked past
collab.
then and he's flashed his feet at me. I did a pair of customs for him with his business logo on them then and there, and he's just flashed his shoes as he's walking past the shop.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I'll just give you a warning though, be if you're into high-end brands, you might cry when you visit his shop.
Oh, really?
He's chopping up, but he's a Christian Dior.
Oh.
He's chopping up
Yeah.
Christian Dior. I just thought,
Oh my
Watching
gosh.
that video just before.
No.
Oh my
Some of
That's
the things I
awesome,
get
man.
through
It's
here
awesome,
is
man.
amazing. Some of the stuff I get through here is so cool, man. It's so cool. It sucks that it's got to go. I wish I could keep like 99% of it, to be honest.
No, but when it leaves your store, man, it's got your stamp, so everyone knows it's come through you. Trust me, it's your artwork is out there, and it just gets out there, and people will know that Sneaker Genius. This is where you got it from. So it's awesome, man.
I haven't had a chance to do much of what I want to do. A lot of the stuff that's on my pages is for customers. All it all is really. So I've got my list that I want to do just keeps growing and growing and growing. So just keep taking those notes down. So I might have to take a couple of weeks off after a few months and just knuckle down and really start getting some customs and bespoke out that I want to do nice big displays for like a gallery type theme here and stuff.
Nice,
awesome.
that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Enough about me, guys.
Yeah, I wanted to
Uh,
bring the Lace Kicks brothers into this because, like, I'm
Yeah.
just looking at the
Yeah.
collection, man. I'm like, how long did it take you guys to accumulate that? Like, I was talking to Steven about it before. We touched on it, and he's just got back into the sneaker game recently. So, what about you, Kicks and Craze? Like, how long did it take you to accumulate all those sneakers, man?
So I've been like a sneakerhead since probably 07. But back then it was hard to get size 13 shoes, like the ones I wanted. So I was buying size 12s, and I had about 20 Air Force Ones back then, and they hurt my feet so badly because they're too small. So I had a couple of rare ones, and I just sold them all like on eBay and to friends and people who could actually wear them and enjoy them. And then I got back into retail when I started studying again. And so this behind me is probably about 3 years at the
Wow.
moment. Yeah, so try to get everything at retail, but there's also those grails which I'm trying to go backwards and get them. So
You got to jump in though for one moment. This boy has the luckiest email.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Luckiest email in Australia. Enters a raffle, has a win. No, he works hard for it though. But
You gotta show us the latest cop that Jordan too.
Yeah, is it the Union? Did you get the Unions?
Yeah,
Me?
got him.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
No, actually they're for a friend because they didn't have my
Sure.
size.
For a friend.
Yeah,
For a friend.
Oh,
Nice.
Damn.
Those are
Yeah, well,
nice.
They
a
are. They're
size
super nice
14
quality.
perhaps?
Size 10.5.
Oh yes, I'm the friend. Yes. Friend.
They're already claimed.
I will DM you.
Union have been dropping heat.
Yeah.
A lot. So I've got the couple of ones here as well.
Nice.
So yeah, I need to get the yellow one for myself, but I'm waiting for like the prices to crash, being in Jordan 2, and they're not as popular as 4s and 1s and stuff. So so trying to wait till that crashes a bit, but I'll just show one more before I stop showing.
Go. Are those for a friend too? Are those for
Are they 10.5?
13.
Hey.
Damn.
But yeah, so it's a passion. If I don't wear a pair, I guess like after about 3 or 4 months, I try to pass it on. Last year, I think I won 120 raffles. I think it was.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
He's got a
So
lucky
much
email. That's what he said.
It is. But it's in volume. Like you have to keep on like
Yeah.
entering like 10 websites per launch, and
Mm.
sometimes you win like 3 or 4 pairs, and you like retail assist people, and sometimes you just get one or you lose. So
Yeah.
what can you do?
He puts in the raffle work.
Yeah.
I'd
Or, yeah,
imagine.
Should
I
buy a
didn't
lot
know
of
half
as
of
well.
the stores that were around until I started talking to Julie. He just he's dedicated to the craft of picking up new sneakers.
That's amazing. That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. There is a
I'm
lot
really-
of work there. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm really
Yeah.
curious because I love just learning about how everyone starts. Like, what was the sneaker that got you loving, like, into sneaker culture? This is a question for
Myself?
everyone.
Oh, you go
Uh,
first.
Yeah.
I'll just finish off. Yeah, just
Yeah,
Reebok
sure.
pumps, the original
Reebok
Reebok
pumps.
pumps. I reckon I was like 8 years old. My best mate had them, and I couldn't get them, and always wanted them. But yeah, I remember his friend, like his brother, pumped it up so much that it popped the tongue inside. But yeah, that's what started it, and then just from there onwards, like Jordan, and because I'm an '80s kid, so yeah, watched Jordan growing up, and obviously Shaq and all those like amazing like Larry Johnson and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. I think that era, that 95, 96 basketball sneaker, does it get much better? Like,
no.
Like mine would be this is what I remember seeing on court.
Yeah,
Like,
kamikaze.
Yeah,
that's like my number one sneaker. Like, I just love it. Like, you can just stare at it and the details and the aesthetics and like, I don't care the colorway. I just get it in my collection.
That's it.
But I just remember seeing those on court and it was always watching the older kids wearing them because you were the younger kid and you always had the big brother that had all the good shoes and all his friends had the good shoes and I had to come full circle and go back. That's my that, and then you go Jordan 11s, Grant Hill 2s, and more up tempos.
Yeah.
You got
I
those
started-
4 shoes in your collection. Oh,
That's how I started with the Pippins as well, with the Jordans. Jordan 7 is my favorite. It's still at least my favorite. I call that a grail, my own grail, because that's how I started loving shoes.
Awesome.
that's it. The grails, yeah. I think that term grail, it's these days it's that shoe's a grail and it just dropped. You go, well, how's it a grail? You've never even had it in your hand. You've just seen it on a website.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be worth money and everybody sought after it, but it doesn't have meaning to you. Like,
I know you didn't just say that word. You didn't just drop that on me, bro. Yeah, meaning. That's
Meaning.
100%. What? Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, what is it? Just a bunch of polyurethane, some nubuck, a bit of stitching here and there, and a logo. Yay! Meaning,
like you go
everything.
you ask that question. Why do you love that sneaker? If the answers are, it's pretty. Like what meaning? I don't know. I'm big on that. I'm big on having that meaning. I don't know if I'm different to a lot of other sneaker lovers these days. Well, we all get into it for different reasons, though, don't we? If you just opened Instagram today for the first time and the first sneaker you ever saw was a Union Jordan 2, hey, then you might love that forever because that was the one that pulled you into the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Meaning. That's it. That's the big thing. Meaning and passion when it comes to anything. I think if that's not there, what's the point of doing it?
Yeah,
Exactly.
So it's okay if I saw Khloe Kardashian rocking a pair of Yeezys. That's the one I want right there.
If you said Courtney, I might have agreed with you.
Oh, it's not. Oh. Obviously, I don't keep up. Yeah, all good.
Essie, I thought you were going to say Caitlin for a second.
Oh, shit.
Some growls are unobtainable.
She's not if you're an NBA player. Anyway, moving on.
Oh man, I love the banter, man. I love the banter.
We might get banned for this.
Please don't, man. Please don't.
We're not going to be looking at promotion from now.
Hey, Kenny of Kardashians, come on the show.
I'm just gonna go on a completely different tangent and just go to JP. The reason I got up before because I saw his shirt and I said I was in Manly tonight after I told Dr. Lace Kicks I was around his area and I saw this in a shop. A friend of mine got some. I was like, oh, where'd you get those? But I just remember seeing JP's shirt, and this is the back of what I'm holding. And I was just like, oh, dude, I just got these. I was like, that's dope. These cords. So yeah, I got the box. I'll have the cereal full of sugar, but I'll keep the box.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess again, like, you know, what gets your eye in certain places, you know, convenience store, I don't know, what inspires you to get into the sneaker game. So going back into that, Josh was holding said sneaker that got me into the game. You see it crumbling into pieces. Those are 1999 Air Jordan 5 Fire Reds, which was not the exact same ones, but a retro. But the 89 pair, the OG pair, is the one that my dad first got me in Blacktown Foot Locker. And ever since I got that pair, it was, the rest is history, as you can see behind me. It's just building, and it just, accumulated for how many years? This wasn't, it took a while. And you see the jerseys are behind me as well, all through the 90s.
Nice.
So,
That's awesome.
I'm an old head. So if you have any questions about the past, don't hesitate to ask me.
I'm new. I'm just new.
Yeah, sure.
You say Blacktown Foot Locker. That's where actually I went to find my grail. So I was going past there one day and I saw the Concord was in store. I ran there, I called my mum. I'm like, mum, please. And she's like, how much is it? I tell her how much and she's like, you're crazy. No. It was so expensive for her though, poor old single mum. And then by the time we went to actually pick it up, it would have been so long that they'd given them away to somebody else.
Oh no.
But they had the breads there. And then next day I was like saying, Mum, they've got the breads. They've got the bread. It's like, all right, I'll come down tomorrow. She comes down tomorrow. The breads were sold out. I had to walk out with 11 tiny low breads.
Oh, no.
That's memorable.
That shoe was a Reebok pump for me as well. Also as a kid, that was the thing that fired it up. But it was the Concord that just solidified everything. That was it for me. That was it. Game over. There was nothing. There's been nothing after that. Before that, anything after that again would be Tinker. So like your threes and whatnot. But yeah, man, that's it for me. Just the shape, the design, the aesthetics of it, everything. Man. It's crazy.
Love it. What about you, Dr. Lace Kicks, the man?
No, that's it. Pretty much I've said that.
Jordan 7, the Jordan 7, right?
And the Pippins, pretty much.
Oh, the Pippins. I guess mine was the Converse Weapons, I think they're called.
Yep.
Like we're in Philippines and my dad was like, I want to get you some shoes, like pick these shoes. I was like, oh my God, I fell in love with them. There was like a green and red, like Christmas colorway or something like that. I was like, damn, just rock them every day. And that was like, man, I just love sneakers now, but they're so expensive. I can't buy that shit until later down in life, maybe.
Man.
Until I get a collection like you guys.
Well, for me, I gotta say something with the collection, right? For me, you don't need much sneakers, right? That's just for me, right? I think what counts is your actual passion about it. You know what I mean? And you know, you don't need much to be in the sneaker game. You know what I mean? And I think people these days, the new heads, that's what they're gonna look at. You are accepted. You don't need to actually have so many shoes just to comment on something, just to be active on something. You know what I mean? That's where I'm coming up with the prospect way of my community. Like everybody's welcome, new ones. You know what I mean? Because we gotta pass it on to the new generation. We got to learn that in a way, you know what I mean? Or else they could never be able to have a turn to speak out, right?
That's it. I love that. I think that's a good way to end this podcast as well with those wise words as well, man. And you know, it would be great to have you guys on and talk more about this sneaker culture and really build this community again. You know, you guys were talking about a lot about coming together and doing more for the community. I think this is a great way to do it as well, just through having these discussions and just talking about experiences and the the wisdom that we've learned through the years in the culture, right? Yeah,
definitely.
It'll be good to have you guys on if you guys are down again. You know, just
Absolutely.
let's break it down for sure, like how we can do more for the community as well.
Same the other way, man. Like, I'd love to have you on our show when we get it up and running and talk about, you know, building up the business, then building up you know, from design process all the way through to getting a product out there. I think there's not enough of that information out there for kids that are coming up. You know, we got to support each other.
Exactly.
And
Definitely.
It's gotta start with something. You know, it's gotta start. And I think what we're doing now is actually good because we're setting up a sample of things of how we're getting on together and just, you know, bringing up opinions and bringing up your thoughts. It will help a lot in the future. You know, instead of pushing back all this new generation that's coming up, instead of learning from us, we're pushing them away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this kind of give them a credit to come in again. And
acceptance.
Yeah,
that's it.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I just wanted to jump in really, really quickly. I think, to coin a phrase, put my money where my mouth is. So when I spoke prior in regards to, you know, speaking and building the sneaker community, COVID's allowed us, I think, to get together a little bit more. So unfortunately, May 14, I'm looking to do something in Sydney. So keep an eye out, guys. An invite, a flyer will come out. I have a show as well tomorrow night, which you guys are definitely invited.
Thank you.
There'll be a show tomorrow night, but there'll be other platforms like the Les Brothers have a show. I'll have a show going forward as well. And you guys, everyone here in this forum is definitely invited. But that said, also May 14, we're calling it Sneakers Only. It's a sneakers night out. I'll send the flyer out to you guys. What we're planning to do is get together, get all the sneakerheads together in Sydney. Unfortunately, if we could have Brizzy as well, brother, we'd have you there. You know, we've got guys from Melbourne who are keen as well to come up, but we'll start small and eventually if we could definitely do a larger, you know, get together. But at the moment, May 14, Saturday night, keep an eye out, save the date. I'll send flyers out to everyone. You'll see it on my feed on Instagram, on Soul Insiders. That May 14, sneakers only, sneakers night out. Just give you guys a heads up.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Thank you and congrats to everyone for what you're doing for pushing everything forward as well, man. Everyone's doing the right thing, making the right moves, good decisions. Stay persistent and let's all get it.
Let's all get it.
And you gotta come back. You gotta come back in. You're part of this now. You're part of this. You're not escaping this crew.
That's it. I got a pair of fives that needs to slide straight into your DMs after this, man.
Here we go. But do you want to promote? Do you want to promote your business, Josh, before everything? Before we end?
So we're Sneaker Genius. We're online at sneakergenius.com.au. Shop front's 83 Canterbury Road, Canterbury. So inner west, it's like on the cusp of Marrickville, Dulwich Hill, Canterbury. Pretty central to everywhere. So like we're highly central. Parramatta's maybe 20 away, cities 15, 20 away, Bankstown's 20 away. So it's local, man. Send your stuff in. We accept deliveries. If you're in Perth, shoot it over. I'd like to say keep an eye out for big things coming from our Australian customizers as well. So we've got some heavy hitters in the game.
There we go.
We have to make some big international moves, man. So really excited for what's going on.
Dope.
Amazing.
Amazing.
All right, guys.
Boys,
Thank you so much.
You want to say anything, boys?
Yeah, do you want to add anything? Add in your tags and stuff, like where people can follow you. Any shouts you want to do?
SC Kicks and Kicks and Craze.
SC Kicks, jump on, have a look at my feed. I try and keep it updated weekly if I can, depending on what shoes are in the rotation. But yeah, the Lace Boys, that's where we're going to be at. And hopefully we can just open up to the community and get everyone talking.
Yeah.
Just sharing and supporting. That's what we're about.
Awesome. That's great.
Yep, and mine's kicks_and craze. So you can check us out at the Lace Brothers. We've got our email address there if you want to hit us up or PM us. We're more than happy to get you guys on the show when we're up like a bit more active. But yeah, we're looking forward to seeing big things happen in the future with everything. So
Let's do it. Awesome.
All right, guys. And I want to say thank you all very much. And let's do this again, yeah?
Yes.
There's no escaping this.
Let's do this again, guys. 100%.
All right, so see you guys on the next episode, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
Thanks,
for
guys.
joining in.
See you, fam.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you.
taking the
Thank
time.
Good night.
Enjoy your long
Good night,
weekend.
Australia.
Peace out.